Amazon is making it even easier for you to return your items. The e-com giant is expanding its free return option, and customers won't even need a box, tape, or return label to do so. All you'll need is your QR code when dropping your item off at any of the eligible Amazon return outposts. And ahead of Amazon Prime Day, Kohl's announced that its 1,100 stores nationwide now will accept these returns.
Oh, joyous day.
Joyous, joyous. Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley joins us now with more. What does this mean? I mean, it's just another, okay, here's more places that are the business model is centered around Amazon.
Great.
Yeah. I think it's a smart move for Kohl's. It almost sounds counterintuitive though, just because Amazon is such a competitor for major retailers, but it makes sense. I was reading a piece where they had done a pilot program with Amazon returns at Kohl's, and they saw Kohl's new first-time Kohl's shoppers increase. They saw same-store sales increase versus
just
non-Kohl's
asked, though,
shoppers.
are they actually buying stuff? Because it's one thing to get people to go to Kohl's just to return their Amazon item, but are they going to shop?
You're in the store, so you're like, oh, I like these clothes, I like this, you know.
It's kind of like the gym. The first step is getting there.
Yes,
you know, where are you going to enter and roam a little bit? Dan's like, nah.
Unlike the gym, though, you might regret going to a Kohl's and buying some stuff.
Exactly.
You never feel worse.
You never
after you
regret.
Go to the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
That's not true. I always feel worse. But I think this is a smart move, and it's not just, like you said, more retailers kind of designing their business around Amazon. You go into Rite Aid, they have Rite Aid pickup areas. You just go up to the front desk, Walgreens, the same thing, and you can get your Amazon products picked up at the store and just, show your ID and you got your stuff right there to go.
What I think is so interesting about the narrative, though, I remember when we were covering the Rite Aid partnership, is for Rite Aid, that is like the biggest deal in their press release. That was the biggest announcement during the earnings call. For Amazon, it's like a little footnote.
Exactly, yeah.
And so when you think about this dynamic and how much we're like slaves to Amazon, or how corporate businesses are like, hey, we need to include you somehow, even though you are our fiercest competitor. How do you see this playing out? Like in 2 years, in 5 years, eventually won't they be like, no, we can't do this anymore. We can't allow Amazon to basically infiltrate all of our systems.
Well, this is the argument that's always happening with sellers on Amazon, right? Is, well, we have to sell on Amazon, but then we give them all our information, and then they know how we operate, so they can do it better, and they can crush us. So that's I think something that these companies are making kind of a deal with the devil, essentially, where they're saying, okay, we'll allow you to return products here. You can't pick up stuff here. Because we want you to presumably purchase.
We're not just going to be a distribution center for Amazon.
Right. But Rite Aid, that makes sense because, okay, I'm at Rite Aid, I can just wander around. Oh, I'll get this and maybe I'll pick up some milk for home or something like that. But Kohl's is something different entirely. I think it makes a lot of sense. I personally would love to have a Kohl's near me so I could do this now. I have tons of items that I've had to return to just a UPS store, and it's annoying. Double park. Get a ticket. Now I can just pull into a parking lot and drop off, a 10-foot long rug or something and just be like, okay, I do a lot of rug shopping.
Well, I guess so. Well, I'm glad you said that, Hallie, because I have a personal experience that relates here. Now, last week I ordered just a book on Amazon, a novel, not a new novel, it's a paperback, and it came, and I pull it out of the package, I got it sent to work, and a corner of the cover was completely chewed off. Literally, it looked like a bite mark.
Yeah.
It looked like a dog had chewed off. It's a brand new book, brand new paperback.
Oh, you didn't buy a used one?
No, brand new paperback book with a chunk of the cover missing. And I was like, what? So I go online and I go to the return, and then I found, much to my delight, that there were quite a few options in the area of our Astor Place office where I could return it, and it specifically said, I thought to myself, well, I don't want to have to repackage it. It shouldn't be, the inconvenience is on me. And it said, don't worry, just drop off the item. They'll do everything for you. And it said, UPS, FedEx, whatever, not FedEx. And then it also said the Amazon 4-star store, which makes sense, which is right nearby. But other than that, I didn't see that many options. But I thought, I'm glad that at least there are a few. But if there were a Kohl's near me, that would just be one more great option. So I get it. I mean, from the Amazon perspective, let's create as many of these partnerships as we can so that the return process is even easier than it's already famous for being.
Yeah, so, Brian Sozzi earlier today noted on Twitter that the market has decided this is a terrible idea. If you look at the shares of Kohl's over the last year, because the stock is down a third, right? But I'm kind of sitting here feeling like it's not the worst idea in the world, and I think that the reason why is Kohl's needs one thing, right? They need people to come into their stores. They don't really have an e-commerce presence to speak of. So anything that gets more people in their doors is probably on net a positive. The other thing with Amazon, and I think about this with my own ordering habits there, it's very difficult to find items that are simple items. Like if I get shaving cream, like deodorant, paper towels. This stuff is actually a nightmare to order on Amazon because you go on 50 different sellers, a lot of different price points.
I feel like this is the
different
jet.com
delivery days.
pitch.
Well, so I think if I'm Amazon, I'm saying let's see what we can do with Kohl's here and look at what Target has done with their e-commerce. Target's e-commerce comes out of Target stores.
Yes.
Maybe Amazon can get Kohl's to be fulfilling some of their stuff that is kind of a mess right now.
Maybe Amazon can get Kohl's to be even more subservient to it.
Well, I mean, if I'm Kohl's though, you
need
say,
it.
I think Melody was saying like, oh well, what happens the next 5 years? Like, well, it's already happened.
Yeah.
Kohl's has already lost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, any integration
Blindly grasping
that they could get with Amazon would be a net positive because otherwise the business is just going to decline to nothing.
But a lot of strategists out there originally were talking about maybe in the future Amazon will have to charge extra for a lot of, or they'll be pricing things at a premium because it'll be too expensive for them to offer these free deliveries, free returns, free everything. It seems to be that that's completely out of the picture, right?
I think it's just because these companies are so desperate to work for them that they're just like, yeah, okay, we'll do whatever you need, we'll do whatever you need. And I mean, it's interesting because I personally see, you drive by Kohl stores, the parking lots aren't exactly overflowing. Like I remember growing up, we had a Kmart around the corner, which, I mean.
We have a Kmart right here.
Yeah. It's like one in the entire country or whatever. But, they turned that into a Kohl's, and it was supposed to be a big deal when Kohl's opened up. But, over the years, it's now basically just a parking lot for a bus stop nearby.
Right.
So, but you go into Kohl's, and there's plenty of things that you see that you wouldn't normally buy. But you go in and you're like, oh, they have good clothes here. They have, jeans you can get for relatively cheap. They have toys for kids, shoes if you just need to run in there real quick. So they're a good store. But it's really just the idea of foot traffic and having to get out the door versus just being able to order something on Amazon.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like it's just so much easier now,
Also, I'm not trying to start a whole new debate. We'll talk about it later. But just briefly,
please.
in terms of human behavior, I'm a little skeptical, if you actually think about human behavior, that many people who are coming in just to return an Amazon item will actually decide to say, like I imagine the windows over here where you return the item, are people really going to say, oh, now I've returned my item, maybe I'll shop?
Yeah.
Clearly, some people, I guess.
It's like
but
below
I think quite a lot of people will just go in and return the item and leave.
Yeah. Drop off my 10
Yeah,
foot.
I feel-
But remember, every one person that goes in as a result of that is one person that wasn't
that they
there.
didn't have.
Sure, I understand.
And also, I'm curious to see the layout. It could be
Yes, I
that
am
it's in
too.
the
Right.
in the
It's all the way here. It's like IKEA. First, you got to walk
it's
through
like
the maze. Right.
It's like locked, and it's like you got to buy something, and then you unlock. The whole thing.
Also, QR codes.
Yeah, that's a weird way
we
to
still
return
doing
it.
that?
I don't understand who's using
They're
it.
It's not
trying
even
to.
so. We never really did.
Exactly.
Like, stop trying to make QR codes happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh, apparently. I mean,
I use QR codes for like my Whole Foods Amazon Prime thing. Yeah, QR
I was
codes are
going to
pretty
say
relevant.
Amazon, because that's going to be
Amazon,
the Amazon Go stores.
Well, I
right?
guess
You're
when
going to
you
have to
scan it,
QR in and
Exactly. Fascinating discussion. Thanks so much, Hallie, for joining us.
Let's continue it soon.